What's up, everybody? This is your boy, Lavon Cason. I am back at it again with another video. And as you can see here, you see people making their complaints about Nintendo Switch Online, the expansion pack. Now, as you can see here, this is Shokio's Twitter. And he basically said, I legitimately wonder if Nintendo will even bother to improve the emulation because they already have people's money. As you can see, this is him posting, pictures of people complaining about the online service and the expansion pack, the one with the Nintendo 64 games and the Sega Genesis games. And N64 emulation on the Switch is bad, the texture filtering is wrong, and the fog is being emulated incorrectly on Ocarina of Time. It's worse than Wii U from a graphics emulation standpoint. Alright, so here's another tweet screenshot that Shokio posted. Holy crap, Ocarina of Time on Switch is so bad, it might actually be worse than Wii U VC. That VC means virtual console. And as you can see, this showcased the input lag on Ocarina of Time on Nintendo Switch Online. It's worse than Super Mario 64. And there's some other people out there as well that have made, their opinions known about the Nintendo Switch Online and how it's not as good as people think. And one of them is Modern Vintage Gamer. The problem I have with Nintendo 64 on the Nintendo Switch Online is that we expect better from an internally developed Nintendo emulation. At least parity with community emulation efforts. Unfortunately, it's nowhere near that level as a paid service. It's disappointing. Video soon. Also, another person that have, basically, made their viewpoint heard on the Nintendo Switch Online. Been playing more of the Nintendo 64 games on Switch this morning, and the effort by Nintendo for this expansion pack is pretty disappointing. I pass for now. Here's another tweet, basically another person, expressing their viewpoint about the Nintendo Switch Online as well. Wow, somehow they have found a way to mess up N64 ROMs on Switch Online. $50 gets you input lag, audio lag, no button mapping, frame rate issue, multiple graphical effects missing, Zelda, missing save features, Mario Kart 64, and I'm guessing Zelda Ocarina of Time. To fool, basically this is the video showcasing the input lag pretty much. As you can see him clicking. Let's show that again. Oh, wow. Look, there's some input lag, as you can see. So, even I myself have made a tweet about the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. And it says, honestly, who needs Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack when you got an Xbox Series system with dev mode that can play the N64 games at higher resolutions? So really, if you got yourself a Series S with dev mode, what is the point of subscribing to Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack? What is the point of you paying those $50 where you can pay $20 on the Xbox and you get an access of not only Nintendo games, but also TurboGrafx 16 games, Atari Jaguar games, 3DO games, PlayStation 2 games, GameCube games, Wii games. I mean, the list goes on and on when it comes to having access of emulation when it comes to other systems. Because really, with the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, you get access to Nintendo 64 games and also Sega Genesis games, which there's the Sega Genesis Classics, which has already been released on the Nintendo Switch a couple years back. So, again, I'm going to say this again. What is the freaking point of Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack? Like, really, what is the point of subscribing? And I'm speaking with my wallet as a Nintendo fan, and to me, there's no need to pay the $50 for a Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. Like, there really is no need for it. There's definitely not a need for me to pay $20 even to get the base Nintendo Switch Online. Like, this online Switch service is useless on the Nintendo Switch. Nothing more, nothing less. I mean, we don't even got the features that are standard on other systems for it to be worth even at $20. So, ever since they are pretty much at this point charging $50, at that point, you're going to have to ask yourself, what is the Nintendo difference? What is the differences between paying $50 and only getting Nintendo 64 games and Sega Genesis games, which you can already get through a collection on the Nintendo Switch itself, or pay $60 to where you get features such as, party chat, live streaming, and other features like that through the other platform holders, PlayStation Network on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, and Xbox Live on Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and Xbox One X. Like, for real, people. And it makes you wonder to yourself, why did Nintendo abandon the Virtual Console? And I was watching this video from, hold up. Review from Rule of 2 Review. That's who I was watching this video about this topic on, about why Nintendo abandoned the Virtual Console in favor of the Switch Online expansion pack. I was watching that today. And it made me want to think, like, why did Nintendo abandon the Virtual Console in favor of the Switch Online expansion pack? And I'm going to give a couple reasons why I think that's the case. One, Virtual Console started on the Wii and it peaked on the Wii. Like, the interest pretty much declined on the 3DS and the Wii U. Two, while yes, Virtual Console not only offer Nintendo games, it also offers other systems as well, such as TurboGrafx-16, Neo Geo, Sega Master System games. You even got, arcade games. You even got Commodore 64 games too. But here's the thing. People bought the Nintendo games on the Virtual Console on the Wii, the 3DS, and the Wii U. But here's the question, though. How many of you guys actually bought those TurboGrafx-16 games? How many of you guys bought those Sega Master System games? How many of you guys bought those Commodore 64 games? How many of you guys actually bought those Neo Geo games that was on the Wii Virtual Console? Well, yes, Virtual Console, was a moneymaker probably back in the Wii era, but after that, it kind of went downhill. And basically, I'm thinking, due to Nintendo, slowly releasing games on the Virtual Console, particularly on the Wii U and 3DS front, slowly, like a couple games, per month or however many games that they release, a week or a month or whatever, and basically, a lot of those games were pretty much on the Wii Virtual Console as well. So, yeah. And plus also, too, a lot of companies these days, are pretty much following the subscription service, monthly payments and things of that nature. Personally, as a consumer, I don't like it. This is basically Nintendo with the Nintendo Switch Online following a trend of other companies, doing their subscription services and all those other things like the other companies. But as a consumer, I don't like it. I'd rather buy my games outright. I'd rather pay the full price of that NES game or Super Nintendo game or N64 game than say, do a monthly payment subscription service. That's just me personally. And also, too, when it comes to transferring Virtual Console games to another system, I mean, let's be real, it was either nearly non-existent or it was janky and, it was, it wasn't really all that. You had to basically use an SD card to transfer stuff from the Wii to the Wii U. It was just a mess when it comes to transferring, your virtual console games to Wii to Wii U. Like, it was a mess. So that's my reason why Nintendo abandoned the virtual console in favor of the Switch expansion pack or the Nintendo Switch Online in general. Is because not a lot of people bought games on the virtual console after the Wii. And also, too, how many people, again, really bought those Master System games, really bought those Commodore 64 games, or really bought those Neo Geo games like that? Like, I'm betting probably a couple few at most. And also, too, this is basically Nintendo following a trend, subscription services, such as, Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Now, all the other companies are doing it, so it was eventually, Nintendo was going to follow suit, which definitely sucks because in the Wii and Wii U era, they were pretty much consumer friendly. They were. But now they are being greedy. They are being conservative as ever. And that's the truth, basically, about kind of Nintendo at this point, if you really think about it. And also, too, let's say if Nintendo actually released all their virtual console games on the Nintendo Switch Online, if they release, the N64 games, all of them that they could release, without, licensing issues and all those other things. Let's say if they release, GameCube games on the, Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, or Wii games on the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. I bet you a lot of people, or a decent amount of people, would play those old GameCube games, N64 games, and Wii games versus their new Switch titles. I bet you. And there's probably a good amount of people that also think this as well, that the old games Nintendo had from the GameCube era, the Wii era, and the N64 era were better games than the Nintendo games that are released now through the Switch era. I bet there's a good amount of people that have that mindset and thought. So that's probably a reason why Nintendo hasn't really been, releasing all their catalog, their NES, their Super NES, their N64, their GameCube, and their Wii on that Nintendo Switch Online. Is because people would probably play those old games than Nintendo's new games. Nintendo. Clever Nintendo. Clever business tactic, Nintendo. But as a consumer, that is messed up. Nothing more, nothing less. Well, that's all I have to say on the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. Overall, it's useless. It's trash. It's not anything that's worth of any value when you really think about it, especially when you got another $300 system such as, the Xbox Series S and the Atari VCS. You can play all the Nintendo games on those platforms, pretty much. And have a smooth sailing and have a fine and a lot better experience than you would if you were to play those Nintendo 64 games on the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. Like, you have a much better experience. Thank you guys for watching this video. What do you guys think of Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack? Have any of you guys tried out the Nintendo 64 games? Let me know in the comment section below of this video. And bye. So now that you have made it to the end of the video, I want you guys to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And when you hit that notification bell, you gotta hit all notifications, so that way you can be notified for future Lavon Cason tech videos, future Lavon Cason gaming videos, future Lavon Cason live streams, and also other videos that I do, such as, reaction videos and things of that nature. Bye.